Hey everybody, this is AK Man 1984. This year I was at PAX East 2013 with my friends Chris and Tabbit. We got a chance to get an interview about the Xbox Live arcade game called State of Decay, made by Undead Labs. I hope you guys like it, so check it out.
So what's up, guys? We're here at the booth where we have State of Decay. It's a new open world zombie game, and we're about to try it. So come on in with us. Let's see.
Hi, my name's John Gronquist. I'm an artist working at Undead Labs. This is our game, State of Decay. It's a zombie open world survival game. It's based on the Crysis engine, Crytek 3. We really wanted to create a game focused on the parts of living and breathing in an apocalyptic scenario that hadn't been represented in other games. So one of the things we really wanted to do was have you play not just as a single character, but as a community of people struggling to survive. So we actually let you play as any member of your community, provided you've earned enough trust to play as that character. This is one of our smaller bases. It's a church located in a small town nestled in the mountains. You can buy stuff from the base, bullets, guns, that they've found and secured from throughout the community. Other members of the community will man facilities within this base. So like here's a little medical center. Someone's already over here. One of our characters is actually already sick, so he's laying down, healing up. This is a character that you could eventually play as. Once you've healed him up, he's rested up, some of that healing will take place in real time over the span of a day or two or even longer, depending on how seriously injured he is.
Is there any way you can accelerate the healing? Is there items you can use?
Absolutely. We have an entire RTS type mechanic for managing our base. So one of the ways that you can heal or improve that guy is by improving the medical center. Now, right now, I actually can't do that because I'm too low on medicine. So if I go out into the world, find more medicine and bring it back, I'll be able to upgrade this to an infirmary instead of just what's currently a medical area, and then that'll improve the rate of that healing for that character. So I can see, this is my map of the town that I'm in. This is Spencer's Mill. It's one of the initial starting towns after the kind of intro area to the game. The entire map is actually fairly large. It's 16 square kilometers, very equivalent to, say, a Grand Theft Auto type game. One of the things that sets us apart from a lot of other open world games is that every location in our world is enterable, and we'll have resources that you can find and use for your base back in that location. So I'm going to go over to a next door house right outside my base. Now, I'm outside the safety of my base. My base will protect a certain amount of area around it. You kind of see that they cleared out. We've built up a defense tower that actually increased that area a little bit. Gives me a little bit of safety to kind of go out on initial excursions. Now this is actually a set of neighbors, a different set of survivors that I can go up to and interact with and start maybe a mission related to something that they need. And if I do that, if I help them, they want some help destroying some armored zombies that have been, causing them a lot of trouble. If I help them out, I'll earn trust with this group of survivors, potentially bringing them back into my group of survivors and making them other playable characters that I can play as.
And are these strictly mission givers, or will you be able to roam around with them? Can they help you when you're doing your own missions?
You'll help them with their missions initially. We don't really have a system for saying, I want to take along a certain number of my people. Generally, when you go out on your own for resource runs. However, one thing you can do is when you do find a resource, you can actually radio back to your base and have some of the base come and take some of those items from that house. So that's kind of how we call them runners. You call back for runners. So I've gone into a house nearby. I'm searching this workshop. I found building materials. Now I could load this as a resource to take back to my base, but what I really want right now is medicine. So I'm going to actually ignore that. Now here's a cooler. There probably some food in there, but I really want something that, there's a zombie that's this guy kind of hasn't noticed me, so I can actually pick him off pretty easily, thankfully.
And when you use your weapon, like a rifle or a pistol, does that attract other zombies to the area?
It absolutely does, yeah. Zombies are attracted by noise. Actually, I just drew the attention of that guy right over there. He must have been hiding in another part of the house. Luckily, I got him with an attack really quick. But yeah, all of our zombies are attracted based off of noise. Noise is the primary thing that they kind of look out for. Choosing to use a gun to defend myself obviously creates noise, but kills them really quickly as long as I'm a good shot and can get that headshot. We have a really interactive markup system that allows us to jump through windows, jump over fences, climb in and out of cars, that kind of thing. So I actually know that there's a veterinary clinic not too far away that I can drive to, then I know they'll have medicine. So I'm gonna head out to that. I'm gonna go over here, select that. I already have a mission that's been established for that, so I'm gonna go. So our zombies, of course, are very, very fun to smash with cars. This is one of the more durable cars. Car damage is permanent. It will stay from session to session. So if you damage up a car smashing zombies, it'll stay that way for as long as you play until you repair it with the facilities in your house. I'm gonna drive on up to this mission over here.
Can you drive the RV?
What?
Can you drive the RV?
No, you can't drive the RV, unfortunately. So this is actually one of our story missions. These guys have been waiting here for you. They're other members of our home community we all want to raid this to help our friends. So that's part of the storyline. The storyline is 10 to 15 hours of gameplay for it. It's all voice acted. There's over 15,000 lines of dialogue that have been voice acted for this. So there's a very substantial story built into it. This door is locked. I'll beat my way in, which of course creates a little bit of noise, but I'm pretty sure there aren't zombies around. So these guys are going to search this area and they want me to defend the perimeter. So I'm actually going to go back outside and kind of keep it clear around the outside, make sure that nobody gets in. And I can choose to do this however I want. I can go outside, I can run around the perimeter, make sure they don't come in that way, or I can even come in here and barricade up the windows, provide a little bit of extra safety that way.
That's excellent, because I was about to ask you if there are any other forms of fortification you can use in your bases or these missions.
The barricade system is pretty much just a straightforward. I want to keep them from coming through the windows, so... Oh. These guys are blocking the door. Oh, but I left the back door open, so a zombie happened to come in while I was barricading up that window. That wasn't exactly too smart of me. So these guys are still working on gathering stuff. I can even go and search stuff at the same time if I want to. And there's another resource of medicine. Now I can either take this back as a resource of medicine for my community, or I can radio home to call in more runners for it, or I can break it open and use it for myself. So then I can take those for me. All right, so we've completed searching. They found all the resources that we need, and now it's time to lead them home and fight our way out through these guys who have kind of cornered me in, so I can dodge out of the way. Do a little finishing move.
You get infected by zombies.
No, we don't have any sort of dynamic infection system. We do have missions where characters will get sick during the course of the gameplay. You'll have to make a choice of whether you want to kill them or not to kind of deal with that. So it kind of exposes some of that, as part of the choice. But we don't have characters can get sick from a couple of different things. You can rest them up in the infirmary to make them better, or eventually you'll have to take them out and kill them. So unfortunately our way home is blocked by a zombie horde. So I have a couple of options. I could get in that car and run them over, which is a good one, or I can throw this firebomb and hope to lure them into it. That sets a bunch of them on fire. Unfortunately, I only got about half of them. So my other friends will come in here and help me out. And we might be able to finish these guys off, possibly if we're lucky, without getting too terribly hurt. So I'm gonna go over here and actually use some of this health to help heal me up. So we managed to fight our way through that without drawing too many of the other ones to us.
So can you tell us a little bit about the backstory of the game?
Sure, yeah. You start off as a character named Marcus and his friend Ed. They've been out fishing in the mountains for a couple of weeks and come back from their fishing trip, and lo and behold, the entire area has been infested with zombies. We really don't go into the cause of the zombies. There's a lot of hints and clues populated throughout the world. Some of them are consistent, some of them are inconsistent. The main goal of the game is actually just to survive. So right now my friend Alan is really upset that I got into the car because it made a lot of noise. And so he refuses to get into the car. But the storyline is basically one of survival. It really, really focuses on, the day-to-day of, oh, this guy got himself trapped, or oh, this guy, ran off to meet his boyfriend or girlfriend, and broke his leg, and you got to go rescue him, or there'll be other characters along the way that you have to interact with. That you'll meet some kind of shady characters that might be able to help you out with some things, depending on how well you deal with them.
So we've all played games like DayZ, the mod, and recently Warzy. How would you say this game compares to those games, and how it sets apart from the other ones?
Well, we really tried to focus on the idea of survival as a community effort. And so one thing that we did was just the fact that you play as a community, not as a single character, and that you have a base that you have to grow and develop, and that it's really about bringing resources back to that group of people, and really about that full, how do I live and breathe in a world that's got hostiles everywhere I turn? So we really think that's what sets us apart. We also set the location in a very American setting. It's very much like any town that you would find anywhere throughout America, a little bit outside of the cities. So we wanted to provide something that most of the people who are going to be playing this game would feel was their home, that they could defend, and bring a little bit of kind of personality that they could kind of attach to that. So we really view the communities and the towns as characters themselves. So there's my friend Sam fighting a zombie. I just almost ran over her, so I lost some trust with her because I almost ran over her. So she's gonna go ahead and get in the car with me, and we'll go ahead and take the quick way home. So we got
Is there different types of zombies?
Yes, we primarily tried to keep our variations in our zombies based in a sort of, very realistic, choices. So, for instance, if an army man converts over to zombies while he's wearing his flak armor, that will still make him immune to bullets. It's still flak armor. If somebody who, say, is very, very large when he's alive converts over, he's going to be very, very large and much more dangerous as a result when he's dead. So we have a couple of different variations. Some of them are a little bit more esoteric, but we call them freaks, and you'll encounter roughly 5 or 6 of them throughout the course of the gameplay. So we brought our resources back. There's a little bit more story about how Lily, one of the main characters that kind of drives the story, sent you on basically a mission for herself because she has a rare disease and needs medicine for that rare disease, in addition to medicine to help your friend out. So there's a lot of those kind of like ambiguous moral moments throughout the story. But we finished the mission and we earned a lot of different things for it. We earned influence, which is our currency, medicine, fame, and the resources for the medicine as well. So we also exhausted a bunch of our characters and hurt a bunch of our characters on that mission. So at this point, we would probably want to swap out to one of our other playable characters. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got enough medicine to actually upgrade our base, our medical facility either. We're currently at 20, we need 5 more. So if I had grabbed one more resource backpack for myself, we probably would have had enough and I could have upgraded that facility now. So, which would have made a real difference in that healing rate of that character. So
I noticed there's a lot of survival layers, features, to the survival layer, and you showed us a few of them. Are there any that you haven't shown us yet?
Each of the characters has individual skills that will progress based off of that character. As you increase those skills, they can actually unlock the ability to get specialties later on. So you can specialize certain characters in bladed weapons or in stealth or in marathon running to make it so that when they sprint, they don't charge nearly as much or almost none stamina, so they can sprint almost all the time. So you kind of can, as you grow your community and they get more and more experience, if you treat them well and keep them alive and healthy, they'll get better and better, and you really make your community as a whole much more effective. But if you treat them kind of disposable, you're going to end up with a lot of people that don't have a lot of developed skills, and they're going to stay disposable because you've done that. So, and that's all your choice on how you want to manage those people, and that to us is what survival is about. It's about managing resources. It's about dealing with people and that kind of like day-to-day interaction.
It definitely has a lot more RPG elements. In this game, as opposed to some of the other zombie games that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, we really like to kind of coin ourselves more as an open world game, similar to like Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto for our primary core gameplay. It's very much a sandbox experience. All of these items, they exist and they'll stay damaged as you move around. Yeah, all of the zombie populations are generated by a simulation that runs in the background. So like none of that's canned in the way that say a traditional RPG is. Now if I let this guy beat on my door, he's going to pull out the door, and he could even climb up and pull me out. So you really have to make kind of like smart choices about what you do. Now those doors are off that car. They're going to stay off that car until I repair that car. So this car is now much less useful because I'm going to keep getting pulled out over and over and over again because I'm exposed. So I'm going to run over here and go to an area that I know is kind of safe, and that's this cell tower over here. Does it climb over these guys? Now zombies will also interact with the environment. They'll hop over fences as well, but the one thing that they won't do, that they've just lost too much memory to remember how to do, is climb ladders. It's a little bit too complicated for them to do. So we have a couple of these spots throughout the world that we call survey locations that are higher areas that you can get to in the map. And if you go up onto them, you can actually survey the landscape and get an overview of what's going on in that community. You can identify what type of resources might be in a house, whether there's other friends inside that house, or even identify if there's, say, a zombie horde nearby. So I've spotted a construction site. I've spotted a potential other home site. Now we could actually, at some point, migrate our current base to this other home site, which might have more facilities that we can use. There's a zombie horde, always something to be aware of. There's a mini mart that we know will probably almost certainly have food. And of course, the ever valuable gun shop. So the mission also, one of the people back at the base just heard news about another stranger that's in trouble. So it generated a mission, oh my goodness, and that happens to be way over in this other town, way on the other side of the map. So now I'm faced with a choice. Do I deal with the immediate problems of this infested house, these zombie swarms that are roaming in the town that I'm currently living in, or do I go try and save this one poor fellow way over here begging for help? I think he's out of luck because I'm kind of overwhelmed with all this stuff going on. One of these swarms might go and move into a house and infect that house, or it might even target my base and attack my base. I really have to deal with that instead, in my opinion. But
I noticed that it was written you can have attachments on your guns, suppressor.
Yeah, actually I happen to have one in my inventory, luckily. So depending on the type of weapon, certain weapons can have suppressors, certain can't. So this one is one of the ones that can. So I'll go ahead and go into aiming mode and hit the right bumper to select that guy. Now that guy just got his suppressor. This one only is worth 10. It's an improvised suppressor, not very valuable in terms of long-term use, but it definitely will reduce the amount of sound that gun makes right now. So I could probably shoot this guy in the middle of the street pretty safely without having to risk any other zombies coming around. You see it's gone ahead. And you can see the amount of sound, this little blue ring. So it's actually a really, really small ring when I'm using this just right in my immediate area when I'm using this suppressor. We also have a little gameplay toys. If I can find a house that has a barbecue outside of it. There we go. I'm running low. Oh no! Gonna eat a snack so I get a little bit of stamina back. Try and fight these guys off. Nice, awesome. So one of the great little things is, of course, very gamey, but nevertheless, if I can actually hit it, boom, always fun. That just created a ton of noise, of course. It would have killed any zombies nearby, but since there weren't any, it wasn't really worth doing because it's going to draw every zombie that was in the area. Luckily, population's pretty clear because I have a couple of other enclaves that have kind of kept the population down in this area, so it's a relatively safe area to travel around in. And that whole simulation of like population density of zombies, it's all dynamic. It's not preset. This infestation, if I leave it alone, will draw other zombies nearby and spread to the other houses and create other infestations and increase the amount of hordes that are in those areas. Those hordes will go off and target other houses and infest them as well. So if I ignore this, it's really going to grow into a larger and larger problem. And that's another layer of the whole survival aspect of the apocalypse, the zombie apocalypse, that we think we're pretty unique in representing. So. A little bit of texture compression, but you know, it is an open world game. Die car! The cars are very, I don't have any more explosive. Darn, I was going to blow up a car for you. The cars, when they're destroyed, are destroyed for good. They don't come back. You guys got any other questions, or?
Go ahead. Multiplayer. Is there any multiplayer? And if not, will there be?
Currently, it's a single-player only game. We hope at some point in the future to add cooperative play, but we really can't say anything about that at the moment.
Last question, when can we expect the game?
We don't have a final release date for it. That's determined between when we finish it up and our publisher, so hopefully soon.
Okay, well that's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
It was a pleasure. It was awesome. It's an awesome game.
Thanks a lot.
So that was State of Decay. I hope everyone liked it. I'd just like to thank John and Sonia for giving us the opportunity to interview them. You guys should definitely get the game when it comes out and play it. Please like this video, subscribe, and I'll see everyone next time. Bye.